It's wonderful to be here and to share not only with all of you who are here today, but also to share the publication of my first book. As I tell people, certainly it's a full-time gig being the rabbi of a big synagogue, but this was on my bucket list to do. So I appreciate all of you supporting that. What I want to do is just talk for a few minutes and really have more of a conversation, to hear more about some of the things that are on your minds, to open up to kind of a dialogue, a multi-log, whatever, because I think the subject matter that I'm touching on is one that really depends on kind of getting a sense of the pulse of the people in the community and what is making you tick spiritually, what is working spiritually for you in this community, and what isn't working for you spiritually in this community. And I'd be very anxious, as I'm sure many others would, to hear what that's about. So I'm just going to speak briefly and then open it up and really have some questions. It can happen amongst the tinkling glasses of a cocktail party, in the quiet confidence of my study, or if I'm truly unlucky on a transatlantic flight when the only film is Dirty Dancing 2 and the void aches to be filled by anything else, even a captive conversation. After the chicken Kiev is cleared and all the magazines are read, the discussion invariably turns to my chosen vocation. The floodgates of conscience burst open. People seem compelled to confess to me, even though that's one of the few things rabbis don't do. The script is nearly universal. Rabbi, I haven't been in a synagogue since my bar mitzvah, which wasn't the best experience. I really don't like crowds, the fashion show of the high holidays, or the fact that temple life seems to be all about the money. Now, these are legitimate but easily processed complaints. The most frustrating thing, of course, is that these folks have determined that synagogue life, and by extension anything that Judaism has to offer, remains unchanged since they were in 7th grade. Stranger still, their relationship to God, to community, and to the principles of faith hasn't evolved beyond the perceptions of a 7th grader. Think about where you were in 7th grade. Imagine if you operated now with the worldview you possessed in 7th grade. I'd still be wearing 3-piece disco suits, avoiding hard candy to protect my braces, and sweating profusely anytime I came close to a girl in a scratchy version of Stairway to Heaven. Hardly a firm foundation for a full, varied faith. Eventually, my confessors deliver the punchline. You know, Rabbi, I'm not religious. I don't like organized religion. But I'm very spiritual, and that's what's important. The unspoken postscript, I'm still a good person. I'm never sure exactly what they mean, and I suspect they share my uncertainty about their ambivalence. But I can intuit through their inability to speak with precision. They want the inspiration that comes from faith, the anchored security of tradition, and the uplift of engaging worship, without the demands, obligations, and responsibilities of formal membership in a community. They want the immediate fulfillment we've come to expect in modern culture, or to borrow John Lennon's take on it, they want instant karma. Frankly, I have mixed feelings about the ongoing focus on spirituality and the seekers who embrace this seemingly endless quest. As the leader of a rooted religious community and a teacher of a timeless tradition, I'm skeptical, even a bit resentful, of a watering down of theology into trendy aphorisms to guide a sometimes narcissistic journey of self-discovery. Religious traditions and communities are the antidote to the ever-changing values of fad and fashion, not simply another faith of the month for the serially God-smacked. Yet as a leader who cares deeply about the ideals of faith and seeks to share them with others, I sympathize with the longing to find transcendence in our transient culture. I too want ancient values to speak to today's challenges, guiding family life in the home as powerfully as they inspire change in the world. We in the Pacific Northwest live in a special place, nestled in natural beauty and often on the leading edge of trends and movements. We relish our image as pioneers, soul adventurers traveling a course we alone have charted. And this is no truer than when it comes to matters of the spirit. Our region is both a laboratory for the latest incarnations of faith and a daunting gauntlet for established traditions, struggling to make it in a highly competitive marketplace of hearts, minds, and tushes in the seat. That's Yiddish for you know what. We are, here in Seattle, in the Puget Sound region, we are the New York of religion. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. For those of us in the belief biz, this can be a very frustrating place to ply our trade. But it also presents a unique opportunity, offering a first glimpse at larger national trends and giving license to think, do, and believe outside the box. The Pacific Northwest has even earned an intriguing designation, the None Zone, N-O-N-E, not N-U-N-E, not yet N-U-N. Pacific Lutheran University professor and fellow presenter today, Patricia Killen's book of the same name, is based on a frequent response to the survey question, what is your religious affiliation? The answer for many Northwesterners, none. Her work is full of mind-blowing statistics that are surprising to many, completely predictable to others. The most telling, 25% of us have no religious identification, and only 38% formally affiliate with a religious institution. These are national highs. But here's where it gets interesting. Professor Killen found that despite these statistics, 69% of us identify with some religion. In other words, 2/3 of us are unchurched, yet 2/3 of us identify with a religious group. Again, we lead the nation in this paradoxical gap between joiners and self-identifiers. So what does this mean? What does this kind of ambivalence look like? And why does it happen here? Professor Killen offers some insights. Our religious institutions lack the dominant role they hold in other parts of the country. Our highly elastic sense of religion reflects our region's unparalleled sense of mobility. And perhaps most influential is the unsurpassed physical grandeur and natural variety that awes and encompasses us. For many of us, nature is our sanctuary and its preservation our religion. I deem these folks rugged spiritualists, those who cherish their membership in a community of one almost as dearly as they desire to tread virgin pathways to the infinite. They are either forged by their upbringing in this region or move here to find safe haven for a novel belief system. Professor Killen categorizes this cluster of folks, constituting most of our population up here, as secular but spiritual. Those who identify with a religious tradition but do not affiliate with congregations. But she makes a key point about the secularly spiritual. Most are not agnostics or atheists. The vast majority of nones claim beliefs and attitudes more like than unlike the affiliated. Huh? How ironic that the unchurched and unidentified seek the same spiritual sense the formerly faithful find, but feel it authentic to accept what came before or what others have found compelling simply because it came before and others found it compelling. They often look for faith in all the wrong places, when meaning and purpose, the inspiring and yes, even the holy, lie before them the whole time. Two of the most common faith surrogates for the secular but spiritual are New Age movements dedicated to personal growth and passionate campaigns for the environment. And while these are worthy interests, they are insufficient to guide us towards understanding and appreciating why we are here, who we are, and what we are meant to do. They suffer from two key limitations. One, an obsession, almost a deification of the self, and a near total focus on the material world. So, how many New Agers does it take to change a light bulb? The answer? None. They just start a coping with darkness support group. While this is mildly funny, this quip reveals a key limitation of New Age movements. They cultivate an all-consuming pursuit of self-realization and inner transformation. Laudable to be sure, but a life devoted exclusively to self-work seems a bit narrow in focus, and dare I say it, even a bit selfish.